Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you how to make a really easy but delicious melon sorbet. I love this. It's probably on the very top 2 or 3 of my very favorite sorbet flavors. Number 1 being lemon, of course, because you guys know I love anything citrus and lemony in particular. But melon is a second favorite. It's the second one right underneath lemon. It's so good and easy. You can totally adapt the sugar amount based on how sweet your cantaloupe is, but I think this is the most fantastic formula, so I'm going to share it with you. You just need literally 3 or 4 ingredients and you are golden. To start off with, you need a melon, of course. This is a cantaloupe, okay? And this is what I like to do. I like to serve my cantaloupe, my sorbet, in the shell, I suppose. So what I do is I just cut it in half like that. Look how beautiful that is. You know that's going to be really sweet. And then what I do is I just take a spoon, get rid of the seeds. And fun fact, when I was a little girl, and I used, my grandmother would cut up honeydew or cantaloupe or whatnot. We used to sit there, my cousins and I, and just eat the seeds. You can eat the seeds, you split them, and then you eat them, and they're so, so good. So then what do is I just take my spoon. You can take a melon baller, whatever your heart desires. I just kind of go around and just scoop out the flesh just like that. You want to leave like a good 1/2 inch border around, just because you want to make sure that your shell actually stands up and holds up well when you go to serve this in. You don't want to just scrape it out completely and then it like flops out all over the place. So I'm going to continue to do that to both of the halves, and then we'll make our simple syrup. So then once the flesh is all out, I just take a sharp knife and I just kind of come in here and break these apart, just to make them a little bit smaller. They freeze a lot quicker, and when you go ahead and add them to your food processor, they will blend a lot easier because they're just not so big and chunky. All right, this is almost where I want it. Now, here's when you can do 2 things, okay? You can either do what I'm gonna do today, and this has to go into the freezer until the melon is completely frozen, so it'll take about 4 to 5 hours. Overnight is always easier. If you don't want to do that, you can use your ice cream machine. You just have to make sure that the insert to your ice cream machine goes into the freezer the night before, and then you can skip the freezing of the melon. All you do is you blend everything together once you have the recipe all done, and then you just pour that into your ice cream machine, and then 1/2 hour later, boom, you have sorbet done. But I'm not going to use my ice cream machine today, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this into the freezer. But first, I'm going to work on my simple syrup, just because once I have the simple syrup done, I can pop that into the fridge to cool completely, and then that way both things are out of the way, and I just have to blend everything together. So to make the simple syrup, all you need is some water and some sugar. I'm only using a 1/4 cup of sugar for the whole thing because I don't think it needs any more than that. Because remember, we are making a sorbet with fruit that's in season, and this cantaloupe is really, really sweet, so I don't feel the need to add a ton of sugar to it. If you don't want to add sugar at all, you don't have to. Just add a little bit of water and you're good to go. But I like to add a little bit of sugar just to intensify the sweetness, but not a lot that it's just like candy-like, like that's, super sweet, like painfully sweet sorbet kind of thing. So all I need to do is wait for the sugar to dissolve. Once the sugar has dissolved, I'm going to turn the heat off and add a few sprigs of mint. And then I'm just gonna let that sit until it cools completely and throw it in the fridge. But I'm gonna do that and then also pop the melon into the freezer, and then I'll show you how to kind of combine everything together and make an awesome melon sorbet. All right, so my cantaloupe was in the freezer overnight. I also have my simple syrup. Now, once the sugar dissolved, I added my mint, let it cool, and then I popped it into the fridge for that to cool overnight as well. And then I just need a little bit of fresh lemon juice, and I'm good to go. All right. You need your food processor. You can do this in a blender, but I find the food processor to be a lot easier to work with. And you're gonna have to do this in batches. And I just literally lift it with, this is a fish spatula. I don't know why it's called that, because it's really the best spatula in the world. It's like very multi-purpose, if you ask me, because it's just so thin and I use it for everything. And I'm gonna work in batches so that I don't overcrowd this. And you just need a little bit of your simple syrup, because like I said, how many more times can I say batches? I'm gonna do this in batches. So I need about 1/2 of my simple syrup for each. And then a nice little spritz of a fresh lemon, like that. And then just close the lid, and then just pulse until it all comes together. Batch number 1 looks done. You can see it doesn't all thaw out and become really liquidy, and you don't have to pop it back in the freezer. You can serve it right away. Just gonna get this out of here. How gorgeous. And it smells absolutely, I'm not even kidding, like it smells like summer. It smells really sweet. The cantaloupe smells really just, I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a little taste now, because why torture you, making you go through another batch when I can just go right for it. I am pumped about this. It's cold. Absolutely pure and delicious, just like every sorbet should be. Because listen, this is my thought on this process, okay? If I'm gonna have ice cream, bring it on. Bring it on. Vanilla, chocolate, creamy, whatever. I love that creamy goodness. I love the richness. But when it comes to fruit sorbets, I want them to be purely fruit. I want that fruit flavor to really come through, and I don't like it muddied with anything else. Making sense? Otherwise, I'd have ice cream. Go to laurainthekitchen.com. Please make this weekend. It's so easy. You know you got the fruit available. Change things up however you want, but give this recipe a try as is, just once, so that you can see what I'm talking about when I tell you it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.